This is The Litter Box, a Detroit Lions podcast with your hosts, Chet West and Bill Patterson.
Litter Box Lions Nation. We've got 2 games left in this season, and our chances of a playoff appearance are slim to none at this point at 16%. We need 2 Packer losses and 2 straight wins from a team that looks like it couldn't find a win if it smacked them dead in the face. Bill, I have a question for you, and I've been pondering this all week. Are we about to see the end of Sonic and Knuckles?
Chet, unfortunately, it sure looks that way. Don't see, even though Montgomery's under contract for next season, I can see the Lions opting out of it. And what you're referring to is he, being Monty Knuckles, had a quote that said, "God grant me humility and gratitude and relieve me of selfishness and fear, #blessed." And then he also liked a comment under that post pushing for a trade out of Detroit. So
I saw that.
Yeah, I think he is getting very, very frustrated with the lack of utilization. And we'll touch on injuries here in a minute, but if the Lions are going to win these next 2 games, they've got to find a way to run the football. And getting Graham Glasgow back is certainly helpful on that, which if you'd told me that I'd be ever saying that this season.
Let us come around full circle on Graham Glasgow. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Man, what a great song that was. Anyhow, yeah. So I guess the preview is this. The Lions are now favored by 7.5 points. The reason the line jumped is because J.J. McCarthy has a hairline fracture in his right hand. And Max Brosmer, formerly of the University of Minnesota, will be the Vikings starting quarterback. He has looked shaky at best in relief duty or backup duty, mop-up duty for one J.J. McCarthy this year. Boy, Chet, I would love to say go Lions on this. The over-under is 43. So the Sharps are expecting it to be, a fairly low-scoring game. It would seem the ideal time that somebody on the Lions offense, looking at UMCDC or Johnny Morton, figures out a way to stop that Brian Flores crisscross inside blitz, and the running game gets opens up the play action passing game, and the Lions get out of Minnesota with a victory. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to be watching this game for, one reason, and that's just to see if our offense can get on track against a decent defense. Outside of that, if our defense can't handle Max Brosmer and company, we've got problems. And if I was the Vikings, I don't think I'd let Max throw the ball a heck of a lot. I think I would just run a steady diet of Aaron Jones at us. Mason will be out. He is injured and will be out. So you're going to get Aaron Jones, I believe, on his own, but you're going to give us a little more injury news. Is that correct, Bill?
Yeah, let's get into that. I'll start with the Lions. The 2 guys that have not practiced thus far this week are Avonte Maddox and our guy Knuckles. Knuckles is dealing with some type of illness. Avonte Maddox has a back injury and some type of illness. So those 2, I'm not super optimistic, especially given that it's a short week and the Lions play it either 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Christmas Day. By the way, we're potting this on Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to all of our listeners, all of our loved ones. Going down the list, these are the guys that were limited for the Lions: Tristan Colon, Marcus Davenport, Taylor Decker, Tom Kennedy, Christian Mahogany, Giovanni Manu, Aleem McNeil, Bob Muhammad, Amik Robertson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Graham Glasgow. We already talked about Glasgow coming back. I imagine it's a short week. Don't read into limited practice. I imagine MCDC's going easy on these guys. And the 2 that I would, I guess we'll let you talk about it in fantasy in a minute, but I could see Montgomery not suiting up. I think he might have played his last game as a Detroit Lion.
If Monty doesn't suit up, let's just suppose he doesn't suit up, is Baki healthy? Who would be playing that second running back role there?
That would be one Sion Baki at this
And
point.
I would assume if he's healthy, wouldn't it be interesting if he got like 15 carries and ran for 100 yards? Gosh, would that be I don't even know how the world
that would be
handle
one of
that.
life's greatest ironies. And
That would be.
This goes back to, I keep reading comments and some of our listeners keep saying, hey, they got to tie up or sign Gibbs long term.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Lions fans. What we're seeing is if you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter what running backs you have, because
outside of Barry Sanders, you're not going to produce. And Gibbs doesn't have Barry Sanders moves, and he's not going up against the defenders Barry went up against either.
All right. The Vikings injury report is a lot more encouraging if you're a Lions fan. TJ Hawkinson is out. Ryan Kelly, their starting center, has a concussion. He is out. The aforementioned Jordan Mason has an ankle injury. He is out. JJ McCarthy, that right hand hairline fraction, he is out. Now let's get to the unknowns. Brian O'Neill, their offensive tackle, has been dealing with a heel issue. He is questionable. Aaron Jones is good to go. He's going to play through that ankle issue. Javon Hargrave, the nose tackle, is dealing with a thigh issue. He's good to go. Eric Wilson, linebacker, has a thumb issue. He is good to go. A name I have never heard before, and this is a mouthful, Gavin Bartholomew, a tight end, has a back injury. He is questionable, so I don't know that he is going to go. Ty Chandler, a backup running back, is dealing with a bum knee. He is good to go. And then Austin Keys, linebacker, ankle injury. He is unspecified. That is a rarity that I've seen, but given that these teams are having a short work week, I think that is what we're going to get on this. So Lions by 7.5 points, over under 43. Chet, let's talk about fantasy. What are your thoughts?
So I wasn't going to take anybody on the Minnesota side of the ball at all. Just with Max Brosmer running the show, I didn't have a lot of confidence. They're missing their center. We know what that's like to be missing your starting center. But
can I make a joke too really quick?
Yeah.
Do you think Justin Jefferson has an ounce more confidence in Max Brosmer to get him the ball successfully than he does JJ?
I don't. I think this is what we would call a lost season for Justin Jefferson, and I think he's chalked it up to that at this point. I think he's sitting on an island somewhere, dreaming of having a quarterback who can get him the ball. Again, you go back to you don't know what you had until it's gone. Kirk Cousins could get him the ball. He's probably wishing Kirk came back and played quarterback for that team right now.
Do you think he sent Sam Darnold like a just amazing,
or Sam Darnold for that?
Harry and David,
oh my goodness,
the pears, the chocolates, the wines, the charcuterie.
If I'm gonna take a Viking in this game, it's probably Aaron Jones. I think he's going to have a steady diet of run game. He's probably going to have a couple short passes from Brosmer slung out to him. I think he'd be the guy to take. Our defense did nothing against the Steelers last week, and I think we're going to see similar cast of characters out there again this week, so things probably won't change. In regards to the Lions, you take your usual group. Okay, you're going to take Amon-Ra, you're going to take Gibbs, you're going to take Williams. You're probably, I'm wondering, and we saw it in the last game a little bit, and there were some close calls. I'm wondering if they're finally getting Teslaw integrated into this offense. He almost had a game winner there. He had a touchdown catch, but he almost had a game winner too. And he had a couple other catches and attempts over the middle. I wonder if they're just leaking him into the game plan slowly.
It couldn't come soon enough for this co-host.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more to see it. That would be a great Christmas present.
This is what happened with Amon-Ra when he was a rookie. He got I think it was like the 12th or 13th game into the season. We started seeing passes get thrown.
Yeah.
He was great. And he was great in the preseason, and then we didn't see him for like 12 games.
Yeah, you're right about that.
All of a sudden, they were firing balls at him, and he was, people were saying, maybe this guy's going to be okay. I'm going with the usual cast of characters. I don't know if this is a Jared Goff game, because if we do get up on the Vikings early, it may become a run game. It may become a let's get the run game healthy type of a deal, and they may start running the ball in the line. I could see us getting up by a touchdown or two, And I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't trust this team as far as I can throw them right now. But if we do get up a touchdown or two, I could see them trying to force the run almost to frustration. Like just jamming the line, get it going until we break one so we can show everybody we can run again. But, this could be one of those types of games. We're in the experimental phase of the season here because the games, we got to win. But, man, you got to kind of know that they're dead in the water.
Yeah. Monty is my last question. Given that he's got this illness, he hasn't practiced. Do you play him if you have him in fantasy?
I don't think
do you
so.
Sit him?
I don't think you do.
You leave him alone? Okay. He might have had his last snaps.
I think you leave him alone. I don't think you can play him right now. He's ill. He's had a few comments. Dan doesn't deal well with that stuff. And I'm not saying there's, where there's smoke, there's fire or anything. Like, he could just be sick. He could be out. It's that time of year. I'd chalk it up to that.
Yeah.
But that's where I leave that.
Maybe
I wouldn't play him. If you got him, I would find somebody else.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I do want to give one shout out before we do our predictions, and that is the Lions had 5 Pro Bowlers announced this week.
They did, yes.
Nobody on this list is really all that much of a surprise. You've got Jahmyr Gibbs, you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, you've got Penei Sewell on the offense. And then on the defense, one, Jack Campbell, not a surprise. One, Aiden Hutchinson was a surprise to me. I didn't think he had that great of a year.
10 sacks. I mean, he's having a great
meaningless.
season. I know it's meaningless, but you're talking about a guy with 10 sacks. If we didn't have him out there, I don't know what this would look like.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
And Jack Campbell is the one that I love because that shows he is growing. And is about to take over a leadership role in that linebacking core from Alex Anzalone, who I don't think we'll see next season on the Detroit Lions.
No.
They're going to have a lot of cap issues. They're going to have a lot of guys they got to release. They got a lot of stuff going on. You're going to see a lot of contract restructuring, stuff like that in the offseason to make room for new pieces, hopefully.
That's a tease to another podcast.
That's a tease to another podcast.
All right. I'm going to give you my prediction now.
Do it. Go.
I think that this is going to be one of those that is going to drive anybody that bets this game nuts. So I'm going to go Vikings 23, Lions 21. So it goes over the Vikings cover, and it'll be like a weird cover too. Like they'll be down 21 to 13 or something like that. And I don't know, something crazy.
I'm going to go with, every week I pick the Lions. When I pick the Lions to win, I warned everybody last week we could lose the Steelers. I'm going to take the Lions 24-21.
Love it.
So it's going over. Lions are going to win this one. They're going to figure this out. And if they can't, oh well. Season's over.
Merry Christmas. Thank you for listening to the Honolulu Blue and Silver, the Detroit Lions Litter Box podcast. Happy holidays to you and yours. And thank you, Chet.
Thanks, Bill. Happy holidays, everybody. Go Lions.